So, to the audience that is going to watch us in the future, who knows when, because my computer says it is 2026. So, okay.
Feature.
The chat was us discussing D&D theories earlier. So, uh, this quote-unquote episode is going to be us discussing uh, Marcadia, World of Marc, who we play in the server, and then the 4 sessions. Was it 4 or 5 sessions? Before I think I started recording on session 5. Session 5.
You did start recording on session 5.
Okay. So, to start off, I'm going to explain what Marcadia is. So, Marcadia is a Minecraft fantasy, well, dark fantasy, roleplay server. So we have a server. Currently, it's about 220 members, counting the 9 bots. 220 members on the server. We are a living world environment. So basically, anything that you say or do in the world is canon, and it could affect anything. And we're pretty serious on the saying in character rule and da da da. So literally, it's like a mini world sandbox, with added bits of fantasy and just medieval elements. And a little while ago, we branched into D&D, and Riley decided to make a kind of offshoot of Marcadia with her World of Marc. So, if you want to explain that, please.
Oh, yeah.
Start off by
Yeah, I know. I'm being silly.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the World of Marc didn't initially find its roots in Marcadia. This has been a story that I have been working on for a very long time, even before Marcadia. I've tried around with a few different players. They all sort of fall apart rather quickly. But after being on the server for a while, I eventually came to really like the place and sort of found myself adapting this own world that I've been working on for, oh, fuck. It's been almost 8 years at this point.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. But I sort of started adapting it to Marcadia. And that's sort of where it started. The World of Marc is supposed to be this representation of the real world, and as well as, a lot of what's going on in my own head. But that's sort of the point of the World of Marc, to first off serve as mini therapy / J, half J, and also to have fun and sort of in a gentle way point to everyone as to what's wrong in our actual world. And a lot of what I do is because it's
Oh my god.
I'm glad it says recording is ongoing. Adding that to the compilation.
Damn it. No more little.
Anyway.
The point is, this is supposed to, Marcadia has given me plenty of, little background characters to work with, and because of the amount of story arc shit that happens, it makes it very easy to sort of slip it into the world. So, Marcadia is not really an offshoot of Marcadia, but rather, how do I word this? It's sort of Marcadia adjacent, where there's the same characters, but everything else about the world is different. It just sort of, I finally found a party that's likes playing my games and enjoys what I have to do. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's basically like inspired by Marquet. Um, okay. So then I'm gonna get to the party. Um, so as of right now, we have 6 players, and then Riley, which is our DM, and I'm gonna start in no particular order. I'm gonna start with Blank. Uh, Blank, as you'll see in the chat here, Blank currently plays a character named Victor, but in the past he played his main character was someone named Yarn, who, if you are up to episode 5 and 6, which in the timeline currently, we have just finished episode 10. So this is the recap of the first 10 episodes. He first played Yarn, and then in the Marcadia storyline, he got slowly more and more infected with Skulk, and then he had like a few boss battles until he was finally killed. But in doing so, he killed a character named Spindle in story. And then, which Spindle was Riley. So, Blank Victor.
I'm a Spindle.
Yeah, we know. So Blank has played Yarn in the past and Victor currently. Another player, Max, has played someone named Isoult, which is which was Spindle's second in command for Port Royal. And then I believe she's doing a new character here soon. Blank, Max, Renee. So Renee originally started out as a NPC, kind of like Ethesia or Kalos or anything, or Ares. She started out as an NPC, and then we ended up having a spot be open, and we just transferred her in here to actually be a character. She's always played Tannen so far. She plays Tannen in the Marcadia server, and then she plays Tannen in the World of Marc. Rob here, special mention. Actually, Rob, do you wanna do your own segment, or do you want me to do it for you?
Do it for me. I want to see. What you say.
Well, it's not gonna be a lot of details, really. So Rob played the infamous character known as Tick, and whenever he was introduced in the World of Marc, you could tell the instant rage a lot of us had felt. Rob was very good at making a character that was like a mild annoyance, but to a drastic degree sometimes. He didn't. I would personally compare Tick with how Rob played it versus how Riley played Tick in the World of Marc as different, but it's kind of the same kind of like little brother like annoyance kind of thing. And then certain circumstances happened with Tick, and then he died in Marcadia, and then he now plays Onmir. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Nano. So Nano plays himself in both worlds. He plays Nova in Marcadia, and he plays Nova in the World of Marc. They are kind of, well, they're just about the same character. There's like a few differences. I think Marcadia Nova is just more relaxed and just doesn't really care. They both do the thing where they just open their mouths and don't shut up.
Mm-hmm.
He does it a lot. Nova is one of our oldest still alive players. He's been alive in story for almost a whole year. Well, almost 4 years in story. Anyway, he's been here a while. And then I saved myself for last. So, in Marcadia, I play Faerith, which is the leader of Amaris. But in the D&D world, I play Sivith, which is a elf character, but she's got, wings and horns and just very interesting original storyline from my own personal projects. but in some way, shape, or form, we've all either played a major character at some point or are playing one currently. Something like that. Well, major at different points in Marcadia. There are most of the characters that you'll see in the D&D world are from like back then. So in Marcadia time right now, Celine has been dead for 2 years. So is the Dinoso, Spindle, Zane is dead. Like a lot of characters that are in the World of Marc are actually dead in Marcadia because of how the nature of the server goes. But in the World of Marc, the settlements and kingdoms are a lot bigger. They have more characters. And Renly, I think you add newer characters. Like as you
Oh yes, like I said, this world has existed for the better part of 8 years. And there are most certainly there are certainly characters that I myself have made. It's just those become a lot more important later on. I'd probably guess around more like level 10, 15 is when they start really showing up. But yeah, you know, this a lot of the beginner characters, I should say, are, you know, known characters from Marquet, that I've stolen. Not stolen, but you know. You know.
Just used for inspiration. So
Just go in.
with the quote unquote intro segment over with, we're gonna explain the first 4 sessions before I began recording, because I was recording on session 5. So we're gonna describe those, and then we're just gonna do a recap of episodes 1 through 10. With I don't know how much information we're gonna get into this, but we're just gonna go it on the fly. So, let me think. So, what really the session 1 was us being in Fort Scythe.
Yes.
Do you want to explain that segment? Because you know probably more about it.
Yeah. Sorry, I have apple in my mouth. Shout out to all our fans that like Granny Smith. You my favorite fans. Granny Smith on top. Let's fucking go. Anyway, I say as if we get more than 5 viewers.
You'd be surprised.
No, don't do that. You're gonna scare me. More if I think that we have more than 5 viewers, I'm gonna get paranoid. Anyway.
Yeah, make it good.
Yeah, no, the first session, mostly introductory, very much so setting up like the first arc of the adventure. It was very much so just, oh, look, spaceship crash. That's how we're introducing this party member and how we're like sort of why it makes sense for all of us to be together. Oh no, one of us went and fucked around with a bunch of Terra people that were on that came to Slitherville on a diplomatic mission. And now we have to do something for them in order to like repay our debts because they killed a guy by accident, or not really by accident, but you know. But that was for the most part just session 1. Like, oh, congrats guys, you're a party now. Also, you're doing this thing. I know it's very railroady, but honestly, the first act of any campaign sort of needs to be.
Yeah. A bit of an example. So all of us were like, so by name, because I'm gonna assume these people might know the characters by name. Actually, so 4 of the current party members were in the starting area. Esther was the one that fell out of the sky. We had an extra party member, and then they actually ended up leaving. There were some things around that, but they left. They were not a good fit for the group, so we had a extra space open, and that's where Renee came in. But Sivith, Nova, Lilith, and ration. We
Mhm.
were all at the start. Esther fell out of the sky. We came and got Nova. Came back. Whatever. Got no. What? Got Esther. Came back. Episode 2 was the entire plot line because Nova went to go follow a guard, right? And then we had to go rescue him because he failed miserably at trying to not be. He thought he wouldn't be caught, but he got caught anyways. What was it? He followed a guard somewhere. We all went up to the barracks. He still hadn't come back, so we went looking for him, and heard like a
Yeah, that's about right.
yeah, we heard like a scream or a crash, and so we all take off down the stairs, and then find this like really big guy, with like what I think he had like a gun or something. Him and like 2 other guards were fighting, and specifically, what was it? Nova tried to do some card trick, and then he asked us
Nova.
card. So, what I remember about that is the guy was like telling him he had to like perform like a magic trick. So Nova asked the guy, like I guess beside him, if he had any cards, and he's like, "No, but I have got 1 card." And he pulls out the card, and it's the tarot card for death. Out of all things, so Nova has that card. And what was it? I guess Nova failed, and then the guy shot the guard next to him and said he was next. And then I think we found him, and then we fought. Nova got to 1 HP. He would have died, but I don't think Riley wanted to kill him just yet. So he survived with 1 HP. And of course there was other dead bodies in there. It was a whole fiasco. But then we went to this room. The Terra High Council, or like a member or 2 of the High Council.
It wasn't the whole High Council. It was only a few important generals. It was General Wilhelm, General Triumph, the Doctor, and there was this Dragonborn lady.
Okay. I thought the Dragonborn lady was the cat lady.
Right, yeah, sorry, she was its backseat. My bad.
Yeah. I almost called her the Skyrim race, and I was like, that's not the right word. Yeah, so we go in there. This is session 2. We receive a basic suicide mission to go and talk to Calypso and figure out what the hell's going on with these weird Wendigo creatures. And session
Actually, they were experiments done by Calypso on how to produce and make Wendigos.
I guess trigger warning for people in the next however long. I'm gonna describe stuff that's bad. Like gory details and just awful things. Torture. So anyway. Session 3, something, we adventure to Cal's little encampment with the 6 of us. I'm skipping a lot of details because I don't really remember much of that. We go there, we go inside this tent to talk to Cal, and then he gets this notice or something. And what, did we hear like a screech or something? And then there was a creature outside? Or like, what did we hear?
There had been some ruckus coming from outside. Calypso was sort of fed up with it. So he goes and looks outside and he's like, oh no, one of these things. And then you see one of the creatures outside.
Mm-hmm.
This was a sort of, I wonder if I can find the reference image I used for it, because it would be in the chat somewhere.
It would be way up there.
Yeah, it would be pretty way up.
It was like
I couldn't even bother scrolling. So essentially, it's just like this four-legged creature that looks vaguely humanoid, human torso, and then like didn't have a face except for like it all was scrunched up, kind of like, kind of like what happens when you pucker your lips, and that, but that was like the whole face.
yeah. And then that
Yeah.
was our very first combat encounter. That was very interesting because Blank had Esther just absolutely charge forward into it because his character thinks he's kind of like invincible and he won't die. So he just headfirst charged straight at it. We were all fighting it while just some people stood around. We were like level 3, 2 or 3.
Yes, you guys were 3 at this point.
Yeah, there's not much we could do, but we ended up killing it, and then there was a funky skull inside, like the torso.
Yes, yes, there was.
Yeah, so there was a skull inside of it, and then I think it was given to Cal. Somehow he got one, and he's like, "Hey, y'all should go like investigate this like town over. It's had some like really creepy creature sightings, and they also have skulls, and then bring the skulls back to me." And we were like, "Well, I guess we got to do it because Nova put this up to it. Like Nova, our lives are like this because of Nova."
Yeah, yeah.
At this point, I think Tannen came in as an NPC around this time. And
Yes, yes, she did.
yeah. And then we'd ventured over there. This is still section 3. We'd ventured over there. We had 1 or 2 people scouting, like did a long rest, whatever. And we planned out how we were going to go into this town, whether by the south or the east or whatever we were going to do. And we chose the south because we thought there was what, 3 or 4 creatures.
Yes, you were under the impression that there were 4 of them.
Yeah. I mean, and Riley has custom art for them if you so feel like sharing, if you can find.
Oh yeah, yes, I can share.
But yeah, so we're going through the bottom. I believe me and Esther were at the front because we had really high AC, and well, I don't know. We ended up fighting like one. No, Nova was in the front because he saw it first. Anyway, we fight some, and we kill some. We collect the supplies from it, and eventually we get to a big open area. And what? I'm trying to remember the stuff people did. Somebody went through a building. Somebody crashed and like fell into it. I don't even remember the rest. But combat, basically, with these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Combat, very chaotic combat, but yes.
Yeah, very very chaotic combat. At one point there was like a pterodactyl looking thing. And we were the pterodactyl. That was the like, quote unquote boss, right? That we had to fight.
Yes, yes, it was. Here is the art I have for all of the monsters that you guys were fighting.
Okay. Do you want to go in order, and I will.
Yes, the first one that the party had fought was the 3-headed bear creature. That was sort of the first one that the party had encountered, very close to the party. Then they had encountered that weird looking thing with the eyeballs that sort of come out of its skull like worms.
Mm-hmm.
That one was very quick and fast and led the party to the rest of the boss monsters, where they had encountered the 2-headed sort of entity with the bird fucking skulls. the rabbit entity, which was hiding in an alleyway, and the two human skulls entity, which was sort of subservient to the bigger one. They were all sort of subservient to this two-headed one, and it laid a few eggs, and one of them was broken, being the wingless bird-looking thing, and the other one had hatched and flown away by the end of combat.
Yeah. Okay. I will say during that fight, Nana got to 1 HP again. Blank failed all of his death saves, but you gave me the option to save him or to go to Max, and so I chose to save him. Max went down. I went to help Max because I was trying to run around to get people.
Yeah.
Rob, I think you said Brashen jumped from a building and tried to grapple onto the monster.
Tried. I did.
I don't remember. It's been 5 months.
Yes, no. Brashen, if you'd like to describe what happened, that's.
Yes.
I went and climbed on to the roof nearest to the boss monster, and I jumped 20 feet, something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It
to
was a lot.
climb onto the boss monster, and I fucking slammed a flask of oil on it and just started to blow it up because somehow I grabbed it and shoved my hand, mostly my fingers, into its wounds. It was able to combust it from the inside of it till it exploded, and I got shoved right into a house wall and got knocked out.
Go through the wall.
I did. I got.
Yeah.
I went through. I think I went through 2 of it. I was
Yeah.
on the
You
other
did.
side
You
of the.
did go through a whole building.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, at about the time where we saw the big boss monster, that was the end of session 3. So then session 4, we ended up defeating mostly everything. And then went back to Calypso after we got all the heads, well, as many as we could find. We had some additional help, but actually, well, the previous party member still had their character, and then their character was eaten by one of these funky looking. One of these.
I was eaten by the flying bird creature before it got off and flew away.
Yeah, it was. She was swallowed whole, and the only thing that was left of her was an arm and her bag that I still canonically have somehow. So, I plan to use that at the dumbest time. I hope you know, but
You know that fucking that arm rotting. It is rotting.
Yeah. But no. So anyway, we get through with session 4. And at that point, well, we give the skulls to Cal. He's like, okay. I think Tannen refuses to give him 1 or 2, and he's like, okay, get out. So we are then sent to Port Royal. We encounter Spindle for the first time, and then that is session 4.
Yes, and then we picked up on session 5 right about there.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we started recording, rather.
And then, yeah. So I was editing the compilations. I'm trying to remember. So episode 1. Episode 1 was the boat episode.
Yes.
Let me actually. Go onto YouTube and look at the episode titles. Oh my my god.
Player can't even remember their campaign. So sad. Horrible. So sad.
I have. What the? Okay, hold on 1 second. The videos aren't known. There we go. Okay. Episode 1 does not have a title. That's fine. So, episode 1, just a boat episode. We were still figuring out who we were to each other, like what our dynamics were, or whatever. Not a lot happened in that episode, I don't think.
No, not a lot.
So, we were literally just getting used to everything. Episode 2 is titled Port Royal Shenanigans. Anyone that has watched that episode knows the very funny moments with Ares, because the only analogy or comparison I have is the Amazing World of Gumball, where one guy works at every store.
Yeah, no, it was all Aries.
Yeah. Like, there's...
Oops, all Aries.
Yeah, there's a clip of him, like, moving barrels and stuff to be, like, a countertop, and he just walks downwards. And then he appears somewhere else. Like, he does that throughout. I think, yeah, episode 2 was just literally a shopping episode. There was some...
Yes, and then Tick was introduced in that episode as well.
Yes, he was. That was fun. I don't remember if it was episode 2 or 3, but that's where I got max damage because he threw a jar of marbles at me and it did max damage.
Yes, it did.
That's still so stupid to me.
Hey, look, your fault for getting hit with the marbles.
Yeah, I had like a glass jar of marbles get thrown at my head and I get max 4 damage. Okay. Anyways, yeah, episode 2, shopping 1. Episode 3 is titled A Tick. That's when... episode 3 is when that happened.
Oh, that was episode 3. Okay.
Yeah. So, I think we interviewed Tick whenever he was in jail. He escaped. I know Callus was there as an NPC. Gnome Depot happened at some point.
Oh, Gnome Depot. Gnome Depot
was very funny.
My favorite.
Yeah, it was Rob's thing. Oh gosh, I can't even get started. They have like this like interdimensional teleportation doorways into like the different.
Oh yeah, no matter where you enter Gnome Depot, it's always the same Gnome Depot, and you can exit Gnome Depot out of any other Gnome Depot.
Yeah. Fast travel. I don't.
Surprised you didn't use that to fast travel.
Huh?
Surprised you guys haven't used that to fast travel. There's a Gnome Depot in Mars and in Velros.
I don't even remember if like Brashen told us.
I don't think he did.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
All I did was just walk around, help the little guy, and then fucked off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you only fucked off because he he didn't join you on your quest.
I couldn't get my little man.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Episode 4 was another ship episode. So on average, we spend like 2 to 3 episodes per settlement.
Yes.
Episode 4 ship episode. That's just from Port Royal to Velros. Nothing too like there wasn't a whole lot that really even happened there. We had a very long period of like, well, not a long period, but we had a period of just like relaxing, getting to know the world, getting settled in, getting to know each other, stuff like that. Episode 4 was Sivith and Nova got a bit closer. I think. So I was looking at it earlier.
I still stand by it. They should kiss.
Okay. Um. But no. Esther, and Lilith were getting. They were talking to Dino about like the ship and stuff. That was the ship mechanics.
Yep.
We were having fun there, and then that episode ended with us arriving in Velros, seeing Celine, and then some of the other characters that we know of from Arcadia. Since we're here, because we saw Jordan, so there's characters like most of the characters that we see. Well, at that point so far, Dinoso, Spindle, Isolt. From a player perspective, they all sound usually the same. So the way that you guys are experiencing it is kind of about the way we would experience it, role playing as ourselves, or talking to each other in the server. Characters like Jordan is a lot older in. Jordan is the owner. His character is a lot older in the World of Marc than here. Whisper is different. She has a little like hologram shop in Port Royal. Trying to think who else is different. Tannen is different. Tannen is like she kind of acts the same, but her character like relationships are very different. Same thing with Cal's. Which I can probably explain that at a later date, if anyone would care at this point. This is a lot of information. Anyway, so we get to Port Royal, Velros. And
Oh, bye, Rob.
That's episode 5. I did a Dragon Ball reference in episode 5. It says this time in Velros.
I fucking love Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball.
Yeah. So Dragon Ball reference for anybody that cares. Episode 5 is so whenever we hit Velros, that's when shit really starts hitting the fan for us. Episode 5 is when I learned that I need to be more specific when I ask for things in D&D.
Yep, because you got roofied. Well, not roofied, but
yeah.
like you got knocked out and then kidnapped and then tortured behind a ballroom, and then the party had to come find you.
Yeah. So, I guess a little bit of a fun fact. I offered for my character to be the brunt of a torture scenes in the past, and I just did not specify that I wanted tea bags, like dried tea leaves, instead of a cup of tea, because it was like 11:30 at night, and I was playing my puzzle game for my brain to stay awake. But so we arrive in Velros. We get off the ship with Dinoso. We meet Celine. Not even gonna get to Celine because she's a bitch in there. So
Crazy, but true.
Yeah. She has. I don't know how to describe it.
She's whiny. That's the best way anyone could put it.
Yeah, her character is just like a whiny, like more of a whiny, not really innocent, but just naive kind of character.
Yeah.
Then we see Whisper. I think we are introduced to Athesia, which is played by CJ. They play Athesia in the server as well. They're just playing their double here. Athesia did very well. That was kind of the most that I had been exposed to for that character, so I was very surprised. But they were
Mhm.
in charge of kind of babysitting us or just keeping an eye on us, really. So we adventured around Velros. Um, we ended up going to the tea shop, and then, as we know, I did not specify and ended up passing out and getting captured, but that's besides the point. Um, the rest of the party went in different directions. Excuse me, but they all ended up gathering at some point. They went to Yarn's forge, which. So, and I had explained earlier, some of us got to experience our characters sooner, and we got to experience how Riley would roleplay our characters that we had spent so much time with, which was very fun for each of us. Um, I think Tick had, or not Tick, Rob had a very he had a blast hearing you talk about Tick.
Oh yeah,
Time
he loved my version of Tech.
he was dying, dude. It's in the footage, but um, we got to the forge, and Esther talking to Yarn was very, very cool. Um, is Yarn still like a dwarf, like shorter in height?
Yes, yeah, yes. Yarn was still a dwarf.
Okay, because I was imagining him to be like slightly taller, more like a human. But that,
Mm,
yeah,
he was very much so still a dwarf.
yeah, okay. Don't know where I got that. I don't know. Anyway, everyone is in the forge or is around the forge, and then they receive a invitation to the ball that has everyone's names but mine. And Nova is flipping his shit because he's like, that's not normal. Like, why is her name not on here? Like, we have to go find her because she hasn't found us yet. So everybody comes looking for me. They don't find me. Rob, well, Brashen gets in there. Him and Max's character are in there trying to, like, find something. I specifically remember Brashen vaulting over the counter, and then Max is like, "Well, can I help him?" And then Rob's like, "I don't need it. I got a nat 20," and we just all kind of laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he found a black fox mask. You said?
Yes, a black fox mask and a small charm that was in the shape of a theater mask.
Yeah. So they got a bit of a lead. They then Nova. Esther was doing something with his armor, I think. The Nova went to go buy outfits for everyone else. For the ball, because we were under the assumption that, it was a ball.
Yeah.
Did my torture stuff start? That started during combat, I think. Did it not?
Yes, yes, it did start during combat.
So anyway, everybody gets clothes. I don't even remember. I don't even know if they get dressed in them.
They do get dressed in them, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so they get in their little ball outfits. And then they go and they enter in the ballroom. And I think that's when I have it on character of the setting. The massive ballroom where you walk in, you see different characters from different settlements or that are nomads all in the room. You have people obviously from Velros, which they're all in the very back near the throne room. Some people from Amaris, some people from Northstar.
Yes.
Jordan's near the door. Port Royal arrives afterwards. But in the back, Celine and Dino, and then the council, a lot of people in the Velros council are all back there. And I don't remember the specifics about that.
What exactly are you wanting to recall?
Well, so I don't remember what Zane and Yarn were arguing about.
They were arguing about Whisper. And sort of Zane's incompetence.
Mm-hmm.
And so Yarn had called for a vote to kick Zane off of the camp. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, so that's where some characters would split sides. Denny and Alchemist and one or two others went to Zane. Caden and
It was yes, it was Denny and Alchemist had gone over to Zane's side. I think it was Elliot and what was the other person's name? And Caden had remained neutral, but then eventually switched sides to Zane's side, and then everyone else had sided with Yarn.
Okay.
But Celine never got a chance to side with Yarn because before the vote was complete, Yarn was shot dead.
Yes. Well, see, the theory is, was he shot dead because he got surrounded he got enveloped by this black magic stuff and then sunk into the ground. So,
yeah,
from a player standpoint, I don't know. Yeah, the kind of cliffhanger, the chat was like a Twitch chat. It just erupted whenever Zane shot his head. And then it was discovered Zane had a codex, which is similar to what Nova's got. Yarn was on the ground. Whisper flees, goes into the catacombs. Celine gets surrounded by the black stuff and then just disappears.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Something happened with... I know for a fact it was one of your tarot cards. What was... I know what it looks like, I just can't remember what it was, but it showed up.
Yes, as soon as the guys were done the fight, I believe it was the Fool, question mark?
I don't think the Fool has showed up.
No, it wasn't the Fool. Hold on, I have to go scroll back into my notes here.
My brain is saying, like, Temptation, but I don't think that's a tarot card.
Nope, that's not a tarot card.
I don't know.
It was Judgment, that was the one.
Yes, Judgment, yes. Judgment showed up, which... terrifying. Meanwhile, this is happening. A civil war is happening right in front of our eyes. Well, their eyes, because everybody's standing in the front of the ballroom witnessing this happen. Including everyone else in the ballroom. Like, everyone else is watching this happen. And the fight commences at this point. I was being dragged back into... because this... So... Yarn gets shot, Whisper runs, whatever. That's the end of episode 5. I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Because 6 is titled Civil War. At the moment, I've not edited 7 through 10 yet, but I'll get to that.
You're so lazy. Kidding, I'm joking.
College. Anyway. College...
Yeah, I know, I'm being silly.
I know, I'm telling the audience now. No. So 6, we had 13 people from the thumbnail. We had 13 people in the chat, or in the call with us, all spectating. So yeah. Battle started. Periodically, this is when I would be transferred to a different VC to do my deal with Tiamat. Well, to actually go through the crossroads and then do the deal with Tiamat, which, for anybody that knows that really, really popular Minecraft ARG video that's of the Golden Knight thing. We all know what the crossroads thing is, because that was really popular around the time.
Never turn left. Don't turn left at the crossroads. And then you proceeded to turn left at the crossroads.
Yeah, because I watched the video, and I was like, okay, which I really, really, really liked the video. I knew that stuff would go that way. Like, because how the video was set up, and you put in the hints, I was like, I could go right or left. And you gave me a chance to like switch.
Yep.
But depending with because of what we talked about, I still kept going on that line. I still kept going left. So I willingly, in and out of character, made a deal with Tiamat, and I'm excited to see where that goes. But we go through. She makes the deal. Actually, while I talk about this, the Traveler character, played by Last Man, he played Agnor, a character named Agnor. Agnor was very essential in the very, very early days of Marcadia to mine, Jordan, and Cal's storyline. That's a whole other story for a whole other day, but he was a essential character, so and it was a complete surprise he was going to be there, so that was kind of funny that I was getting to play with Agnor again after so long. So Agnor was there, just as a fun Easter egg, I guess. And I think in the episode you'll hear him talk about like Faye and Cal or something, which, yeah.
Yes, he did mention it.
Yeah. Was, you know what? It's not even. No. Anyway. Eventually, I wake up in the catacombs after having made the deal with Tiamat, and I'm like barely conscious and whatever. Tick is with me, but the others are in the ballroom actively trying to look for me. So, in between episode 6, 5 or 6, we would switch to me. It might have been 5. I don't know, 5 or 6. It would switch between them. Yeah, no, 6. Battling. Like everyone would take their turns, and then it would go to a torture scene for me, and then back to the
probably the coolest fucking shit I've done so far.
Yeah, it well, out of making sure that
of character, coolest stuff I've done so far.
Yeah, that was really, really good, especially when you almost like you started putting the rod under her eye, and you could hear Max and Renee started groaning. I thought it was so funny. Unfortunately, my microphone didn't record me, but I was laughing. Dude, I love those reactions and shit. Like, the story's so good, and just hearing people groan, it's so funny.
It is very funny.
I'm glad that I got to make them, like, I got to be part of a story that made them cringe so bad. Anyway. But we would go back and forth. Eventually, I stopped being tortured. Whenever I was being dragged into the other VC, they would take their time to plan who was going where. And it took them a while, because they were trying to figure out what they would do, where they'd go, what spells they'd use, and actions, and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I would join back and there's just chaos. Like, so it ended up being Nova and Tannen went to go find me, because we wanted one healer to be in the ballroom and one healer to be coming to me, just in case. So, and then Russian stayed with everybody else up in the ballroom. So those two came to find me. They found me. Nova got tossed into a wall. Tannen was...
Shout out to Nova, by the way.
Hmm?
Shout out to Nova, by the way, almost dying consistently.
Yeah, again. Which I'll get to that here in a second. Nova gets thrown into a wall. Did he immediately go to 0 HP?
Uh, no, he didn't go to. He wasn't immediately at 0 HP, but then he was proceeded to be used as a human shield and went to 0 HP very quickly.
Okay. So, as a little, well, to preface, Tick was in the room with me, and he was like a boss. Excuse me. He was very powerful. So Tannen and Nova were fighting, and eventually Nova hit 0. So at that point, got to roll for death saves because I was still in the chair. Nova had his cat familiar come in and untie me, or attempt to. Those two were fighting. Nova hit 0. Tick used Nova as a meat shield when Tannen tried to attack him, I think, and then he
Yep.
immediately failed a death save. And I think she tried to attack him again or something. Well, no. I had gotten out of my bindings at that point and went to go and try to fight him and try to fight Tick. And then something happened and he failed a sec. Oh, no. Tick grabbed a hold of Nova's head and his feet, or his ankles, and proceeded to pull him apart. And then he failed.
Well, almost.
Yeah, almost. And he attempted to do that. And then Riley took... I thought you were going to say something.
No, you're good.
Riley took the perfect opportunity to do the transformation that we have been talking about for a while. Upon seeing Nova nearly die in front of her, which that in character I think they are the closest out of the party as far as like being buddies.
They are the closest out of the party, yeah.
Yeah, by a long shot, I feel like.
Yes.
And per the deal with Tiamat, as long as I do whatever she says or asks of me, whatever, I will live. And she gave me extra things. So I then sprouted big red wings and then horns, as per my backstory a little bit.
Yay.
Funsies.
Backstory and why the fuck not?
Yeah, literally, yeah. I know Tannen was asking if I was some other race, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I still don't know what she's talking about because I assume that this is a completely custom thing. I don't know.
Yes, you are still technically an elf.
Yeah. So still an elf, but with wings and horns, and that proceeded from there. I used Spare the Dying again on Nova and Tannen, both. Took out because I had which might I mention, and I did explain this in the episode. I was a paladin, but I didn't really feel very nice about being a paladin because I'm like, this is not working. I didn't get to do as much damage. I was like, what's the point? And then Riley gave me the ability to turn into a druid, which I took. And very thankful because fire spells.
Yay, we love being a druid, for real, for real.
Yes.
I'm glad.
It's a lot of fun. I would arguably say druid is my second favorite class because cleric will always be my favorite.
Yeah.
Because Faye was a cleric.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was a druid, we fought, whatever. Rob came in as Brashen. And beforehand, funnily enough, some of us were calling characters to kill. And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if Rob's second character killed his first character? Well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Rob killed himself. Brashen.
So me coded. Cut that out.
It's fine. Um, I mean, people that watch our D&D episodes know we're gonna say stuff like that. It's like a
Yeah.
anyway. Rob killed Tick. Brashen killed Tick. The battle commences upstairs. We ended up. I think we came back towards the end. Art. No, not Art. Denny was killed. Zane was killed. Who else?
Axel escaped.
Axel escaped. Nox died. I believe. Because Zane
Yes, he did.
died. Yeah.
Zane, Nox, and Tick had all died.
Yeah. And then Axel escaped. And then Danny died as well.
Yep.
Some of the people, like, I think some of the North Star and then Mars people took off running. They did not fight. So it was a civil war. Eventually, you know, this darkness started growing and growing and growing on the throne room. And I forget what happened at the end. I think it just disappeared. No, Axel.
Yes, the darkness had taken taken Celine. The doctor had come out, gave a little bit of a speech, and then disappeared.
Okay.
After helping rescue Axel.
Yes, and then that was the end of combat, I think. Yeah. And then I think that was the end of episode 6. Episode 7 is afterwards. Directly.
Yes.
So we go. Oh yeah, I can't wait to edit this video and get to show them the shit y'all put me through in that episode. So fun fact, I don't know where the hell you guys got this idea to put that dumbass robot in this video or in the campaign.
Initially, it wasn't supposed to be that robot. I had my own vision planned, and then I was scrolling on Pinterest, and I had found that picture of the robot, and I'm like, that's like almost exactly what I have in my head. I'm gonna share it with everybody, and then apparently it turned out to be this super popular internet thing, and I'm like, what? I thought this was just something I found on Pinterest. Good lordy, lord.
Yeah. Some of them, more so Riley, I swear somebody else did it too. They saw I really did not like it, and they took to aggravating me with it, and it is in plenty of those video clips.
Yes.
They were
in case you guys don't know, chat.
I'm gonna put it in here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's this guy right here.
Yeah. It's creepy as shit. Anyway, I don't like that thing. I really don't. Anyway.
That's kind of the point.
Yeah, well, I really don't want to sound like I'm being dramatic with it, but it makes me physically uncomfortable. Yeah. Oh, that's a funny gif. Anyways, so cool thing. Don't do any more than that, please.
Okay, alright.
Anyway, I'm just gonna not look in that direction of the screen. So episode 7 was everyone going back into the catacombs, and we were searching it room by room, and someone found a secret passage, and it led into like a this mother person, or like the widow mother, something.
Yes, the widow. Yeah, the widow. Also known as the mother.
Yeah. Her little treasury room, and we all took a bunch of gold. And then there was a robot. Well, a robot, and then some other piece of paper that that information is not important yet. I don't know. But the robot, and something happened, and it turned on, and it was like something like objective protect Calypso, couldn't find Calypso, and then second objective kill everyone. So
It was kill intruders actually.
yeah, kill intruders. So we ended up, overheating it. Something happened. I don't remember all of that, but it got disabled or whatever, turned off. The head was separated from the body. And then
Yep.
Esther took the body. This is when we found out that Esther was a plasmoid.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I have no idea what that is. I'm technically
Slime person.
yeah, so slime person. I'm still technically new to the D&D stuff, as far as like that. So anyway, that being said, I was shuffling through the gold, and I found a portrait of Celine that had this black, shadowy dragon figure behind her. And I picked it up, and a voice that I recognized said, "Oh, that's where you are," or something like that. Almost exactly like that. And then the voice faded, and I couldn't hear it anymore. And for my backstory, she ended up, and I said this before, she ended up being killed by somebody. And said person is the one that just spoke to her when she picked up the painting. So, not only, you have to deal with whatever the hell that black wispy creature is, my villain was then introduced-ish. And I was flipping my shit. Because it was only like a few weeks since she had seen him, but anyways. So, she gets in, she takes the painting, puts it under her arm or whatever, in her cloak. And she just leaves, like, she tries to leave the room. I think I'm going a bit out of order, but anyways, they get rid of the robot, mostly. They go back into this room where Rob comes back, and I'm telling everybody, why that's a problem. Getting increasingly, like afraid. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to tell them why I have wings and horns now. Because, yeah. So then I talk about my deal with Tiamat. And yeah, I'm not going to get into my theories yet. But I tell them about my with Tiamat, and I've explained. I think I said that if anyone's going to kill me, I want Nova to do it, and if he doesn't, then Tannen, and so on and so forth. But if I am commanded to kill any of them, then what, they need to kill me first.
Yeah.
Which I really hope that that's a last resort.
Who knows, honestly? I have quite a few plans, and I can't really make you privy to them, but I have so many plans.
I'm good with that. But yeah. So I tell them that we venture more through the catacombs. At this point, there are some moments where, like, Tannen and Max's character went into a cave and none of us could fit. And some of that stuff is not going to be on camera because I still want the audience to have some sort of, like, surprise whenever they're stuff in character. Like, it wouldn't do any good for them to record their experience, but I kind of want the audience to, like, learn stuff as well. They go through, they learn something, and then they are acting funny afterwards. But as we get to the end, and there's a massive circular room and there is a gold open casket with Whisper crying in front of it. And she's upset. We take her back home. Like, we get out of there, take her back, talk to Spindle, literally leave. We go finish up our final things, and then we finish up our final things, return Whisper, pay off the lady. Everyone is like running around Velros trying to, all panicky and whatnot.
Yeah.
We stay the night at a inn, which Rob chooses 3 rooms for 2 people. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I didn't say shit about where I was gonna go or where Nova was gonna go, because I was almost expecting you or Rob to put me and Nova together, and that's why I asked who am I paired with, and then he said like Max. I'm like, okay.
I still think you guys should get.
me and Nano have had conversations about if that would happen, but no.
Okay.
I honestly, if we ever got big enough to see like fan art, I would enjoy seeing fan art of that. I think that'd be cute.
I hate gay people. I'm kidding.
No, you don't.
J. I'm dating Renee. I love my girlfriend. She's amazing.
About to say you can't. Well, I was about to say you can't hate yourself, but yeah, you can. Anyway, we're not getting into that.
I do hate myself rather relentlessly.
Anyway, this is a D&D recap. Anyways, yeah, hopefully, as the audience can tell, because we keep getting off track, we are a group of like decent friends. Like, we goof off and shit. So yeah. So we sleep in the inn. We get up. I decide that I want to be awkwardly funny again because I'm still working out how I want my character to act. And like I wanted her to like take off this pillowcase and run at Nova and just put it over his head and like shake him around or something, just like sling him, like just to be funny. I don't know. I don't know what really possesses me other than that's kind of my character's only entertainment. It's just making him miserable for like 10 seconds. Because I think it's funny.
And it's also my entertainment. I love doing it.
Yeah.
Love Nano too.
Yeah. And he just goes along with it. But I rolled so bad because of course. I miss Nova and get Max. Like, get Lilith's head.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh shit. Then I take it off, go back to Nova, whatever. I do something with Nova. I do the little, put flowers on her hair, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna nudge him because it's gonna be funny. So I nudge him with my wing, and I actually beat his strength. I rolled high for once.
And you throw him like 10 feet down the stair.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I was just hoping that I could, like, nudge him and he would trip, but he would catch himself. But it's not what happened. I really wish...
He failed his roll.
Yeah. I wish I could have traded those rolls. Honestly. But I made him fall stairs, and then I felt bad.
Yeah, well, I thought it was pretty funny. I like it when Nano falls down the stairs.
It was funny, but it was very mildly embarrassing because Esther is like aggravating, like, oh no, Esther and Tannen both, and I'm just like, shut up, like, don't even. But anyway, it's funny shit. We get on the boat because we're gonna go to Amaris with Ward and Gold. To go to my character's settlement in Marcadia. I had been waiting for this for a while because, yeah.
Yeah.
At this point in time, there's only 3 settlements, right? Because we're up against Terra.
4.
4. Okay. Yeah.
North Star.
Yeah. There's 4. Uh,
Yes, and then there's also a bunch of neutral settlements like Slitherville, and then Gala is a neutral settlement.
Mhm. Yeah, because
And there's plenty of smaller neutral towns in and about, like Kilkenny.
okay. Yeah. Um. Yes. So then, yeah. So get on a boat. Uh, and we go to Amaris. We have a part of that session was a boat session, and then part of because we're on episode like 9, I think, at this point for some of the boat stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So some of that is us talking to Ward, learning about the robot head because he took the robot head from the catacombs. And
Yeah, he did. He did.
yeah, he's doing like experiments on it. Which we hear, and I'll get to later. He's doing that. Whatever, we talk to each other and whatnot. At this point, I'm having my character learn. Oh, I skipped over stuff. Actually, I'll just let them.
What did you say about that?
It was like stuff for my character, but I'll let them watch the episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to clog all this character stuff for just me. So, anyway, we see that Ward is experimenting on the robot. No, it's 10. Anyway, 9, generic boat shit. I'm trying to learn to fly. Esther and Tannen are like kind of getting me to go talk to Ward. Nova is asleep. I don't know where Brashen went. And then Max's character is there. So we like at that point it's like the 4 of us talking. And then episode 10, we're all sleeping or trying to sleep or resting. And then we hear the robot that's on screen say mom, and then like it talks again, and then we hear a thump noise from above us. We go to investigate. I stay outside, but then everyone else goes in because I knew what was gonna happen, and I did not want to deal with that robot. So
Yeah, that's real.
So everybody else went in. I was cringing. I was like, I don't want to talk about this robot. I was having a ball. No, but they go in, they talk to Ward. Ward learns that the robot has a 6-year-old brain inside of it, and it is sentient or something.
Yeah, it was. It had a brain that used to belong to a human.
Yeah. A kid to be specific. But
Yes.
So anyway, he was experimenting on it and did it. I'm not even gonna get into that. He does that. Some people don't like it and leave. Some people don't care. Eventually, we get to the Amaris docks. We're trying to figure out what to do and where to go. Because, and I forgot to mention this earlier, we were tasked as a side quest, but also a main quest, to find someone called the Crow. And Renee told us, as Tannen, that he sounds a lot like Nova. Which I was like, okay. Maybe it's just he just has a different tone of voice, but he talks like Nova. So
Yeah.
So we go to the. Actually, let me rewind. As we're going to Amaris is my settlement. Well, yeah. Amaris is my settlement in Marcadia and the World of Marc. But let me specify, I am not like the World of Marc Fae.
I think you are.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
would not
kidding.
be that blatantly racist to people. No.
I think your character is just outwardly racist. I remember very distinctly. Favorith just came to Chitali and said, "You're a fucking knife ear," and then walked away.
What?
Yeah, no, Favorith called me a slur, guys. It's canon. It's canon to Marcadia, guys.
I don't remember if I actually did. I don't think I did.
I know. I'm being silly.
Okay, I was like, yeah, I'm like, I would like remember saying something like, anyway. Nah. So we were going past the southern Amaris to go to northern Amaris. They look very different. So they are two separate islands. Southern Amaris is what you said, very brutalist style buildings. Right.
Well, it's all very brutalist across the country. Or city, rather.
Yeah. So Southern Amaris is like, it has a bunch of different races on it. Drow, what the bird people.
Drow, copper, dragonborns of all kinds. Yunti, lizard folk, drow, dwarves, anything that isn't human or elf.
Yes. So they would be in camps. If the audience gets what I'm talking about. Camps on the southern island with guards stationed everywhere. Northern Amaris is full of still brutalist buildings, but nicer buildings, a castle, a giant-ass tower in the north, and just humans or elves. Everything else is in the southern one, which is the slums, and then the top is humans or elves. I would assume or half-elves at that point, if there are any.
Yes, or half-elves.
Yeah. Did you make Faya an elf or a half-elf in this world?
She is an elf.
Okay. So full elf?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. For reference, my Fae is a half-elf. If anyone was curious. So we get there, we learn, well, we don't want to split up because there's only two of us that would be fine going around Amaris. The rest of us are not. Nova obviously isn't. Esther's not. I'm not, because I have wings and horns. There was only two people. It was Tannen and who else that would be fine?
Brashen, maybe.
What about Max? Because I think she's a human.
Oh, yes, it would have been Max. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, because Brashen's like smoldering. So anyway,
yes,
are not good up there. So we go to this. Well, I asked Ward where we should go, and he said, "Well, probably like the slums." So we go over there. The guard that's stationed nearby is asking if we are coming, like if we're coming in as outsiders or if we're coming back or something. And we were all kind of looking at each other. And we're like, we're outsiders. And anyway, eventually he stamps our wrists and it says outsiders or something on it.
Yes, it does. It says outsiders and a date.
Yeah. So we go in and we're talking in the middle of everyone, trying to figure out where this guy is. No one's really paying us any attention besides like looking at us with these, bad glares and shit. At this point, well, because we are trying to roleplay and figure out where to go, what to do, because, well, for one, Ward is a bad person, and Ward admires Faye. And keep in mind, Ward is somebody that would torture a robot that has the consciousness of a 6-year-old child. and that will actively do it in front of other people. And he admitted
Mm-hmm.
to Faye. And from what Tannen had told us, Faye is not good. So we were very
Yeah.
we didn't want to go there. So
You.
yeah, so we eventually had no other choice but to go there. And this is where in the video that I will be uh flipping my shit because we get to see my character. Everyone else had gotten to see their own characters in some way, shape, or form but me. And it took 14 sessions to see my character. Um, which I'm fine with.
I mean, it was worth it. I think it was worth the wait.
100% worth it. Anyway, so we get in there, and she's got a shit ton of guards in there. Tannen is our leader for this because she can pull rank. She is the technical third in command of Port Royal, so she can pull rank throughout anywhere to Mars. And anyway, we get in. Tannen takes a knee, and Faye's like, "No, you need to bow lower." And so my character does not hesitate, and then gets all the way down because, like, something that I've tried to connect in characters, we've heard shit about her. We've heard absolutely nothing. We have not seen her, not heard about her, anything. We've just seen that these kind of bad people actually admire her, and I do not want to test that. So we end up bowing to the floor. Like, our heads are on the floor, I would imagine.
Yes.
And, you know, there's grumbles, I guess, for some people. But, eventually we're bowing. Faye gets up and stands up. And at this point, she comes into, like, I guess the light some more. And two big-ass dragon wings come out from behind her. So if you think of...
And a tail.
Yeah, and a tail. And a black dragon tail. So, I think it was gold. Somebody in here put the gif of... Let me find it.
It was the lady from the thing.
This one. This is what I imagined was happening. Not like outside, but like any in Game of Thrones fans will like this. But just two massive black dragon wings, which was a complete surprise because Faye doesn't have that. Like, my version of Faye does not have that. So, which I was like, oh my gosh. So, big wings, black. So she has dragon parts, a little bit like my character. My character's got horns and the feathery wings.
Yeah.
Then, shortly after that, she tells us to rise. And then we hear this, like, rumbling underneath us. And a ancient blue dragon head appears from what, behind her? Behind the throne?
Yes.
Massive dragon. And that's when I start screaming. And Riley, you already know this. For the audience, I was not paying attention to what was being said other than Tannen was trying to talk to Faye because I was so, like, enamored with all of the details of Faye for those 10 minutes that I was not paying attention at all.
I mean, like, understandable. I made Faye the bad.
Yes. Absolutely. A bad one. Like, not like bad, like evil. Like, amazing badass is a dragon rider, which, oh my gosh, lifelong obsession for me. But as you said, she's like the Stalin of this world. She's a bad character. Bad character. I really feel like it's like you took the good things about my Faye and then just completely reversed it.
Yeah, no, like this version of Faye is kind of like. Hmm.
She's more
When I say that
Gaia.
she is essentially the Stalin of this world, I mean it
Yeah.
because this world is supposed to be like this analog of like the actual world and like the most primarily like World War One/World War Two. That's sort of the vibe I'm trying to go for.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say she's this world Stalin, I kind of literally mean that. Where the other two allies of Amaris, Velros, and Port Royal, it's a very uneasy alliance. They're only really working with Amaris because they are also fighting Terra, and that's kind of it. They're kind of ideologically opposed in every other sense.
Mm-hmm.
So in this world, Faerith is kind of like fucked, royally fucked.
Yeah. So, and something that I do end up asking later on in the episode is like how did Faye get her wings? Why did she have a dragon? And like nobody freaking knows, because whenever she arrived here, she had the wings and she had the dragon.
Yep.
That's I don't I can try to search for answers, but I really don't know if we're gonna get them, because the nature of how I play her and how you play her is probably going to be very secretive. Which is
I'm sure. I'm sure you guys will all figure it out at some point.
I want to figure it out, because in my mind, Sivith is a little bit like her as far as draconic things. Well, yeah, that from her perspective. Anyway, we learn about the crow from her. She does not like him. She does not approve of his methods. Da da da. We learn he's a copper. Oh no, somebody that worked with him is a copper dragonborn. So we go find him. Most of us are shuffled in this house, and I ask him about Faye a little bit, and he talks to us about some things, and his kid comes in. We're talking to the kid. I think Nova and Max like leave him something. Some like
Yes.
rations. And then this little kid takes us and shows us to this little. So the Dragonborn gives us instructions on how to find the crow, and the kid takes us to this little hideout that's like that the guards cannot see, and we go inside. And as we're waiting, we decide to share stories, like, and really get to know each other at this point, because we haven't done that yet. So everyone shares their backstory or pieces of it, and it's all of us but Aster. And having some interesting conversations out of character. I am slowly having her be more and more fed up with Esther. But that's I'm getting off topic of the thing. So
No, you're good. Don't worry.
Most of us are talking about backstories, and she's like, well, I don't know why you're not. Yeah, it's just differences in understandings. We follow the instructions. Me and Nova dismantle the traps. Find the door to where the crow is. We open the door, and I walk in first, and we see the crow's body in the back with his brain matter splattered on the wall. And he's got this like theory board that has some interesting things posted on it. Like the portrait that I found was connected to the words the moon, and then it's connected to other stuff with red thread, like the meme. And Nope goes over to the crow and is like looking at him. And he goes and pulls down the mask, and he finds
Yeah, takes off the mask and finds that it's just another hand.
Yeah. So the crow is this world's version of Nova. And then that's where the session or episode 10 ends.
Yeah.
As of currently, because we're still waiting on session 11 or episode 11. We don't
Yeah.
know where it's going. So this is up to date. This video is going to be longer than I thought. This video is long.
Oh, I can't wait to kill so many people next session.
So, yeah, I'm just gonna have this be my personal predictions. Obviously, people haven't figured it out by now. Me, Dragon, or Faye is the one that records all these episodes. I record them, send them to Jordan. Jordan posts them on the Arcadia YouTube for everyone. I edit. I'm not the best editor, but I do the episodes. We
love you for that, Faye.
Thank you. I do it for people's enjoyment, because whether it's just Marcadia people watching or whatever, it's fine. Anyways, my theory is, so I think what Renee was saying, only 3 of us would have doppelgangers. Maybe 4. 3. Esther's technically from here. Lilith is from here. I don't remember about Brashen. I don't think he is.
Brashen is technically from this plane, yes.
Okay. So, from what Renee was saying, me and Tannen would also have a doppelganger, because we already know that Nova has one.
Yes.
So at least half of us have a doppelganger in this world. And that's a problem. Because if you don't have a mask like Nova, and if me or Tannen were to see a doppelganger, that has a lot of bad things that could happen.
Yeah?
I have a theory I need to tell you once the recording is done.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and actually just end the episode. I'm just gonna cut out the theory. So this is the end of the recap.
Yay, recap! Yay!
Yeah, it took longer. I think per every 10 episodes, we can, unless either every 10 episodes or from the last recap to the end of the season. I will do it, because I don't know when the end of season 1 would be.
The end of season 1 will likely be right after the Amaris arc.
Okay. Cool. So I guess I could have technically waited, but anyway.
Yeah, you could have waited 2 more episodes, but I mean...
Oh well, it's fine.
Sorry. 10's a good place to begin.
Yeah. Man. Anyway, so yeah. End of the recap. If anybody does have theories, let us know. Whether you are in the Discord or whether you're on YouTube, let us know. Because me and Blank and Rob mostly me and Blank spent hours discussing theories, which I sent them to you. Discussing bits and pieces of theories and ones that we wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Which I think some of them were good. But anyway. Say bye to the camera. And
bye, camera.
Keep watching the episodes.
Keep watching the episodes. We're super cool and awesome. Do it right now.